Welcome back. I'm Laura. You know Winifred. Alex is behind the camera. Welcome to A Grooming Tale. Today we're going to start with sanitaries, comb outs, and we'll see how far this takes us. You can actually see from her, she's a little stressed out. She's accustomed to having her groomings done all in one shot. Unfortunately, we always have to wait for lighting, so on days when it's raining, we have to get creative. A little side note, see how her tongue is butterflied? It spreads out. Good thing to be aware of, all dogs can do it when they're a little stressed out. You can see that her ears are folded back. You can't tell, but I can tell she's shaking a little bit. She's not shaking a lot, but she's shaking a little bit. But the butterfly tongue is a definite indication. You okay, Minnie? Okay, so the clipper, this is my Andis clipper that I use for grooming. If you happen to have a grooming clipper that has a detachable blade, the blade you want to use is a 10. Okay, if you don't have one of these, if you have a human clipper, this is my wall hair clipper, you have the arm on the side that makes it larger or smaller. You kind of want to be somewhere in between. You don't want it all the way down. You want it a little up, but you can judge that too as you go. Or you can use your handy dandy neck trimmer. These also work very well. They're usually a lot lighter. They're easier to use. So the neck trimmer, always a good solution. Okay. I'll start with the neck trimmer so that you can see. I left her collar on so that I have something to grab because I don't have my grooming arm. Okay. So if you want it to stand up, hold the tail if you have a long tail, and along with holding the tail, grab the leg. Let me see if I can turn around. Okay, so there's a couple of different ways you can reach a sanitary. Again, especially if you have a longer tail, you don't want to cut it, hold the tail, hold the back furnishings and the leg, hold it all in one shot. And then go in. The neck trimmer will take you a little longer because it's not as strong. Okay, so if you have a regular clipper, you go in and you're going to take right away from, you're not going to go up the back of the leg because you don't want to leave a hole. She actually has a tangle, so you don't want to press. Very much like the Dremel, let the clipper do the work for you. And you're going to take the hair away from around her peepee. Now, you're going to have some dogs, she does not have hair on her belly, but some, again, the Bijans, the Shih Tzus, they have a lot of hair, and this hair in through here has a tendency to get matted. So once you finish here, you can lightly take away any hair that's on the inside of the leg. Then if you're doing that, then you turn the dog around, you do the same thing on the other side. Okay, so now we're set back up the other way to show you that you can also bring them this way. And you can get all these little hairs in here. All right, she has a little bit of a tangle right here. So very gently I use just the first couple of teeth, on the comb to poke at it, to kind of pull it apart. There we go. And then I can comb it out. Got it. Okay. So once your sanitary is done, before the bath, you're going to want to make sure that all your tangles are out. Now I know she's got a tangle behind her ear. Been playing with it these past couple of days. Here it is. Okay, see the knot? I'm gonna move all the other hair out of the way. And there it is right there. This is not, this, if you can see this knot, are you able to see that? Is pretty big. I would not want to torture her by trying to pull that out. That would be a little painful. If you had a knot like this behind a cat's ear, their hair seems to pull apart much easier than dogs do. But this, so I would just then separate out the hair, hold the ear. Always make sure you know where the ear is, especially if you're working with a lot of hair. You take your clipper, or you could even take your neck trimmer. All right, see, large knots like this, there's a couple of different ways that you can tackle this. You can try and take them and bust them up. Actually, this one is kind of busting up a little bit. You can take your scissor, go under the mat and split it and break it up that way. So then you take your comb, come in with the two teeth, pull it apart, and you can try and get it out. Or, I actually did get most of it, but just to show you, I actually would be able to get all of that out, but just to show you, or you can take your clipper, hold the knot, and cut it away. Now the knot's gone. Okay, you do not want to bathe a dog with knots. If you have knots and tangles, you have to get them out. If you bathe a dog with a knot, the knots will get worse. I'm going to say that again. Do not bathe a dog with knots. The knots will get worse. So you're going to want to take your comb. Obviously, you're going to start with the larger end of the comb first, or a wide tooth comb, whatever you have at home. Comb through. Always pay attention to where the ear is. You don't want to catch an edge. She's got some static. I normally like to, when I comb out a dog, I start from the head and I work my way down. It makes no difference really where you start, as long as you have some kind of a pattern that you don't forget where you were. Now we have a matching knot on the other side. These are, call them her Princess Leia muffs. Okay, this one's much tighter than the other one. You can also use a thinning shear. Again, always know where that ear is. You're gonna take the thinning shear and you're just gonna bust the knot up with the thinning shear. Pull it apart. Now I'm using all these different tools because, you know, it's whatever you have at home. Put your head up for me, Win. That's a good girl. I know, Mom. or you can just shave it away, get all the other hair out of the way, and very gently just take the knot. You can also hold on to the knot. Actually, that's a little too close to her skin. Let me get rid of a little more of that. There we go. There's a little bit left here. Oh, I think I got it. Nope. Hold on to, I'm actually, you know what, I'm actually pinching her skin a little bit right here so that it's not, I'm not pulling too hard. I'm holding it in place. There we go. Okay. So now you're going to come down. I'm going to show everybody your pretty face. Okay, get under her neck. She doesn't normally, but there's a lot of breeds, again, Shih Tzus, Bijans, Yorkies, have a tendency to get knots in their armpits. You would take care of the knots in the armpits very, very similar as to how you would do the Sanitary. You're going to pick up the leg, and she doesn't have any, so this is, you're gonna move whatever hair is not knotted, you move it out of the way, and you come into the armpit this way. You can come down this way, you can go north, east, south, and west. That's fine, wherever, however it is to get that knot out. Knots twist and turn, so it can be uncomfortable for them. So you don't want to leave them with any kind of knots. Part of the Sanitary, as I'm going through here, I'll get her to stand up. A lot of dogs don't like to stand up on the table. They would rather sit down. So you can cup them this way right on with your hand, make a U right under their belly to help hold them up. All right, she's got some tangles here. All right, gonna get her tail out of the way. Okay, again, you have a knot, you go in this way, break it up a little bit, and then go back and comb it out, and normally you can pop it right out. Okay, let me turn her around so you can see. Again, you can do this with a neck trimmer or a regular clipper. Stand up for me, man. They do have a tendency to get, she does especially, she gets poop stuck. So you're gonna go very lightly. You don't wanna press the clipper down into her skin, into their skin at all. So you're gonna very lightly, south, east, west, and a little north. Depending on your breed type, you may have to come a little higher. It's good if you come a little higher up the tail. For the same reason, things get stuck. All right, see now here's another one. But this one, I actually can break apart and it pulled out. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. So if you can't, then you go in with the thinning shear it out. You're going to want to comb out some of their undercoat. If they have undercoat, she does. You can see it. If they have undercoat, comb it out first. This is the prep work before the bath. Okay, I've also switched my comb around. I'm now using the smaller side. Okay. gonna comb out her front legs. You're such a good girl. Such a good girl. Stand up. Mat around the belly. And the tail, a lot of them do not like their tail combed out. They just, they don't. Hold on to the tail. Remember that the tail is attached to the spine. You don't want to just pull without, you're going to want to, like you would be combing out a ponytail, you're going to hold the tail, start at the bottom, work your way up. She's actually got quite a bit in her tail. So now Winifred is not free. Her sanitary and tush are done. She would now be ready for her bath. Okay, so now that is all done. She's ready for her bath. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you like these videos, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. See you soon. Hi, I'm Laura. This is Winifred. Alex is behind the Alex is behind the camera. And we